Hello and welcome to this digital camera magazine video tutorial. Today we're going to show you how to generate your own HDR picture, and we're going to do this using two bits of software. Firstly, Photomatics to combine our 9 images to create our .hdr file, and then we're going to correct that and sort it out in Photoshop CS3. You can also do it in Elements. You'll find on this month's disc a trial version of Photomatics, and we've also managed to sort out a 20% reader discount offer through HDRsoft. So if you want to try this, you can give it a go with the trial on this month's CD, and if you really like it, then you can purchase the software. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the 9 pictures that we're going to use to create our HDR file. And we've got those here, and as you can see, this is well underexposed, and as we flick through each of these, we can see the exposure increases until we go right up to the 9th file, which is well overexposed. So first thing to do is to boot up Photomatics and load these files into the software. So when you first start Photomatics Pro 2.5.4, you'll get this overview screen. Now you can have a flick through that and learn a little bit about, or a little bit more about HDR tone mapping and exposure blending. Or for this tutorial, don't worry about it and just hit the red cross and close it down. And that's the same on both Mac and PC. Now, unlike Photoshop and programs you're probably familiar with Photomatics we're going to have to batch process the images. So we need to go up to the Automate rather than the File and Open. So click on Automate, go down to Batch Processing, and that'll open up the Batch Processing dialog window. I'm going to start off in the Process window. First of all, make sure you've got Generate HDR Image ticked, Process with Detail Enhancer, and Process with Tone Compressor. Just below that you have Select, and we've got 9 images that make up our HDR file. So just make sure that in the drop down, as default it'd be set at 3, so just make sure that you have 9 images. That way it'll combine all of the 9 images that we choose from the folder. Next, and this is very important, make sure that you've ticked the Align Bracketed Images box. What that does, if you've taken it on a tripod, you might still get a little bit of movement, and this just makes sure that everything, all the detail within the picture, actually aligns when it combines it to the HDR. Now, the last part is the location, and what you want to do is go to the Images section on the CD, copy the HDR files over to your desktop, and then use this directory structure system, which is a little bit complicated, just to navigate to the files you've copied from the CD over to your hard drive. When you do that, you should see all of those 9 files appear here on the right hand side in the little dialog window. Now, destination, you can either, if you've copied those to your hard drive so it's writable, you're able to select Same as Source and it'll save those files down into your source folder. Alternatively, if you want to select a different destination for those files, just click the Select button, and then again with this directory structure, just locate your desktop or an area you want to save them to, and then you can just save them down like so. I'm going to save these straight down to my desktop. Once you've done all of that and you're set to go, just click Run, and that'll start the combining process of the 9 images. Now this takes a few minutes to run through, creating an HDR file, because it is dealing with 9 files at once, does mean that it generates quite a large file. So if you've got a slow system, it's worth disappearing off for a while and coming back. It can take up to about 5 minutes to process through. Okay, I'll leave that running and I'll join you again in the second part.